live, and it's usually pretty quick. So I'm just going to make sure we are actually live
Okay.
on Facebook. Awesome. Let me see. Yay, we are.
Okay.
Welcome, everyone. I'm super excited because today we get to chat with the one and only, the beautiful Miss Sue. Now, Sue is someone that I've had the pleasure of getting to know through this opportunity, right? We got to connect through a mutual friend, which was really cool on Facebook. And we just started working together, and Sue has already lost 4 pounds in only 2 weeks. And she's also totally eliminated her heartburn and been able to, like you said, have 100% more energy. You don't want to take naps anymore, which is super, super awesome. So
Right.
amazing. I want to celebrate you and congratulate you.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, I would love for you to tell people a little bit about you, like who you are, what you do, and maybe what the biggest struggle is that you had before we got started with the Purify system.
Okay. I live in Calgary, Alberta. I'm 49 years old, big birthday next February. So this is another reason why I want to join the program. So I'm a mother of two, and I was always a stay-at-home mom. And years ago, I think it was about when I was maybe 18 or 19 years old, I took the, it's called in Calgary, the Alberta Fitness Leadership Certification Association. I as well was a competitive dancer in tap and jazz. I know there's a few dancers on here.
I love it.
That's right.
I love it.
So tap was a huge passion of mine. So I did that up until I was about, well, maybe just before I graduated, and then it just got to be a little bit too much because it was, 5-6 days a week, and we only usually went as far as Edmonton for competitions, but still, I mean, I was trying to graduate, and so I just thought, you know what, it's time. So I've always, and I was an avid skier. I've been downhill skiing since I was 6 years old. So, just always active. And I met my ex-husband, and, had kids, and I was always a thin kid, and I just, it was like I took that opportunity to feed my baby, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So I had climbed, when I delivered my first son, I was 220 pounds. And I started at, I think, about maybe 150 or 160. So I gained a significant amount of weight. So then I had my second, so I had lost most of it, not all of it. And then I had my second son. I didn't gain quite as much. And it's just, you know what, it's been a struggle since then. The lowest weight that I got to was probably, I think about in 2010. I went down to 150, but it was mostly due to, stress of divorce and all that kind of stuff. So I was a single mom, and I had a 6 and 10-year-old, and just, you know what, I just didn't have the time for myself. I was working full time. Then I went to part-time, and I was doing online school. I took a medical office assistant course. And then, so I was working for a couple doctors, and my weight crept up again. I was working 9 hours a day. And, my son was in hockey, my other son was in music. And so I just had no time for myself, and stress, and I just ballooned again. I think my highest when I left the doctor's office was about 210. Yeah. So, I mean, I've literally been, all kinds of different numbers from 220 down to 150.
Wow.
And it's been fluctuating that for the last 10 years. So it's really frustrating.
I totally feel you. And that's, I mean, I feel like what you just shared is something that's so relatable to so many women, especially, right? Having gone through having children, and then also having, stressors of relationships and work and all of those things, right? So many relatable pieces there. So that's, I mean, not amazing that you went through it, but amazing that you're stepping up, right? You're stepping up. You're stepping into that higher version of you, and are saying, like, commit to improving it. So that's amazing. So what would you say, right before we got started, because like I said, we got started about 2 weeks ago, which is awesome. So we're fresh into, a couple weeks into the program right now. So what would you say were the 3 biggest things that you were struggling with before you said yes to joining Purify?
Definitely with the weight and the self-esteem. I belong to an adventure group actually in Calgary, and it ranges anywhere from 45 and up. And so we would go hiking, and one day, you know what, I just couldn't make it up this hill, and I sort of stopped. I couldn't catch my breath, and I just, I wanted to cry because I thought I've never really felt like this before. And I know a lot of it is due to the weight. And I just thought, you know what, like, this is it. I really need to do something about this. I do have some chronic, back issues that I'm, going to a pain clinic for. But, and the joint inflammation and the pain, it was just, getting to the point where it was unbearable. But then, my boyfriend would say, "Oh, let's go for beer and wings." And I'd be like, "Okay, that's one of my favorite things to do. So let's do it." Right. I mean, it's
Yes.
awful, and it's a cycle. And then, I think I finally just decided I just can't do this anymore. And the energy, I mean, like coming home and having the naps, I thought, this isn't a good lifestyle. So, and, working for a doctor, you see, I mean, all different kinds of health issues from people, right?
Yes.
And obesity is huge. And
100%.
I mean, really, I'm obese. My body fat percentage is very high, and it's not healthy. And for somebody who, I imagine, and even going back in my life with the dancing and the skiing, I've always been a healthy person. I've always wanted to, sort of go into bodybuilding and training and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So I just thought this isn't who I am.
That's so powerful. That's so powerful. I love your little cat, by the way.
Oh yeah.
So
Sorry. She's probably going to be back and forth on my lap. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Oh, so cute. Well, I have Ranger who's sleeping behind me. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen him in a video, I think, before.
Yeah. Just such big animal lovers here. But
yes.
That's so powerful though. And I really love the way that you shared how you used to be so active and you used to be so, into so many different sports. You were into skiing, you were into highly competitive dance, right? And I find it really cool because it's like our system and our program seems to attract those high performance women, right? Those women like yourself who you've been there, you've done that, you've been to a place where you've either pushed your body a lot or you've been super successful in business or whatever it might be. It's like those women that have that it factor, right? We have like a ballroom dancer, a ballerina, now we have a competitive dancer. Like really, it's super cool because those are the kinds of people that we love to work with because you have that kind of whatever it takes mindset. Where you say, once you make a decision, you're like, I'm doing this, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And I absolutely love that because that's, I mean, that's also me coming from my highly competitive background. So I think that's amazing. And I think that you touched on some things that are really powerful in that when it comes to, you seeing yourself in a certain way, and that when you look in the mirror, what you see in the mirror isn't actually how you see yourself inside.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
That's right. And then, when you see, sorry to interrupt you, when I see photos of myself, I just, I can't believe it. Cause sometimes when I'm at home, maybe it's my mirror, I look and I think, okay, well, I guess maybe I'm not too bad. But then when I see myself in pictures or, in a bathing suit or whatever, then it just tells a whole different story. I just think, it's awful. And I have actually had, a couple people comment that, you're an attractive woman, but you could stand to lose some weight. Or, back when I was dating, I had a gentleman say to me, I think you're a really nice girl, but I typically date smaller women. Right. Wow. So I know. Right. So and it's not that I'm doing it for them. I'm not. Right. And I wanted somebody that would accept me for who I was, which I did find somebody. But it's difficult hearing that from other people.
100%.
Basically, because you think in your mind, okay, they're basically calling me fat. Right. And that's not a good feeling.
No. That's not cool. But like you said, the biggest thing is how you view yourself, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And it's really, everybody has like that different level and that different threshold and that different look and that different place where you actually feel like you, because that's the biggest thing, right? Is we talk about weight loss, we talk about losing, however amount of pounds, 20 pounds, 60 pounds, 100 pounds, like whatever it might be. And it really just comes down to what is the place where you see yourself in your body, where you feel great, where you can, you know, rock a bikini on the beach and you're just like,
That's
yeah,
right.
this is awesome. And you don't feel like you have to put like a cover up, you know, on you, or you
Mhm.
have to wear a dress when you're on the beach and you don't want to go in the water, or,
Right.
you know, that kind of
Right.
thing. And you
Yeah,
can,
it's not a good feeling.
yeah, we can wear a sexy dress and just feel good. So, I
Right.
mean, these are all such amazing points. And I mean, I'd love for you to share, you know, when it came to when you first got started. I know we're super
Mhm.
fresh into the system right now,
Yeah.
but what were some of the three, I would say, yeah, three biggest successes and wins that you'd say you felt from having started the program so far?
Just, I think the first one is actually, I'm sort of an all or nothing type person.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people like to eat a lot of food and food that's not typically good for them. And then they'll exercise to sort of counteract that.
Yes.
But I have to sort of be, if I'm exercising, then I don't go and eat horrible food because
Mm,
I just, right, it sort of goes hand in hand.
yes.
But, it's nice to have something that I can follow. Um,
Mm,
I've been on probably every single diet that's out there.
uh-huh.
Um, but it's nice just to, have everything laid out for you so you don't have to think about it. The meals are easy and you just come home and you look at your list and you have everything ready to go in the fridge. And it's like that saying, fail to plan, plan to fail,
Mm-hmm.
right? Is sort of how
Yes.
I see it. So, and that's me. If I don't have everything planned out, or if I don't see things in front of me or laid out, then I typically have a hard time with it. So,
That's
yeah,
amazing. So you like
yeah,
the
I
simplicity
love
of
it.
the way it's set up is
I
amazing.
love it.
That's
I
good.
love it. Yeah, it
Yeah.
takes the guesswork out of everything. Right?
So,
Because there's
so good.
other, yeah, there's other diets that, I have a girlfriend that lives in BC and she struggles to lose weight as well, but she's a lot more active than I am.
Mm,
And so, we have our sort of morning coffee and we talk on the phone and it's like, okay, so what are you going to do? Are you going to count your macros? Are you going to do
mm,
keto? Are you going to do, and we're always trying to figure out like what we're going to do because we're having
yeah.
trouble losing weight, right?
Mm,
So it just takes the guesswork out of it. And I know you're very knowledgeable and I watched some of your videos sort of before and sort
mm,
of, Googled you and I just, and speaking with Omar, I just thought, what, these people are real and
mm.
you guys are out to help people. You're so positive. I just love it.
Oh.
And
Oh.
your laugh is so infectious. I love it. So it's great. I just, what, I can't say, it's just amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. And I mean, we
Yeah.
love being able to help people, especially like you, like I said. And when it comes to some of the different things, you touched on some really good points there in terms of you've been on so many different diets, right? Like, do you count your macros? Do you do keto, or do you intermittent fasting, or do you go vegan, or do you like go paleo? And there's so many different crazy things out there. And I always
Yeah.
say, like, just throw those labels away and start to say, we're gonna follow the Sue diet. We're
Right.
gonna follow the
Right.
Stephanie diet, like for actually the foods that work for your body. So,
Right.
what would you say made you feel like this was different? Like, what do you feel in terms of the Purify system and what we do is really different than some of the other diets that you've been on, where you finally feel like you found the thing that's going to help you?
I love the community. I
Mm,
love, and it's, if we have questions, we can, you guys are always available.
mm,
I've had trainers as well. And, you just sometimes feel that, they're just sort of maybe more out for the money or they're not really out there for your best interest
mm,
or, that kind of thing.
yeah.
And you explain the reason behind things and the science kind of behind things, right?
Mm,
Instead of just saying, okay, you know what, you need to eat this and you're going to lose weight.
mhm.
And that's sort of the end of it, right? I mean, you put
Yes.
out informative videos. There's just you've given us so many resources and the hormone
Mm.
thing too, right? Nobody has ever really said to me, you know what, this is why you're not losing weight. I mean,
Ah,
I'm 49, so I'm perimenopausal,
okay. Yeah.
right? So it's, I mean, I know it's hormones but nobody's ever really come through and said, it's like when I did the Weight Watchers diet, right?
Mm,
Weight Watchers, it's calorie based, really, is what it
yeah.
is.
Hmm.
But it's, you can still eat whatever you want within that point range. But
Yeah.
is that really good for your body, right? It's like you can go
Mhm.
out and have McDonald's, but that's all
Yeah.
you can eat for the day. But is that really healthy for you? It's not, right?
Mhm.
So it's just the different systems. And I also did the ideal protein diet,
Mm.
right? Spent a ton of money on that. You know, I didn't quite lose all my weight, but it was super, super expensive.
Mm.
And as soon as I went off of it, because you're eating their food, you're eating the packaged food.
Yeah.
And, you know, as soon as you're off that, I gained all my weight back and then more,
Mm. Okay.
right? So,
Yes.
I mean, you basically go in there, they, you know, weigh you and, you know, test your water, all that kind of stuff, and your, you know, your fat loss and fat or
Mhm.
body fat percentage, sorry.
Yeah.
And, you know, you buy their food, they help you pick it out and you're on your way, right? But that doesn't,
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not
it's just,
helpful.
no, it's not. And there's so much, you know, so much misinformation out there, and, you
Mhm.
know, so many pills that you can take for, you know, and you have mentioned some supplements, which I think are absolutely great. And I know, you know, that you've done your research and stuff on it. It's not just some, you know, magic pill and, oh, here, take this and you're going to
Yes.
lose 20 pounds in the next week.
Mhm.
Yeah.
100%. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I
Hmm.
love that. And I think that's so powerful, right? Because you've tried so many different approaches and obviously, you haven't found something that you feel is super sustainable yet, like something that
That's
you can
right.
actually stick to. And
Yeah,
like you were
that's right.
saying with so many of the different diets out there, right? They make it so complicated, even things like keto. Some people have amazing results on it. And there
Hmm.
is a specific place for keto.
Right.
But first of all, that's for very extreme cases. And second of all, the normal kind of average person, in my opinion, should never be going on a keto diet because
That's right.
everybody goes through that same thing because it's not sustainable. So it's
That's right.
really
Yeah.
about finding that sustainable way of helping you lose weight and
Hmm.
keep it off.
That's
So
right. Yeah.
that's amazing. So would you say
Hmm.
that when it comes to the Purify program, like how do you feel? I know it's only been 2 weeks, but
Hmm.
in terms of the results that you've gotten so far, right? You said you've already lost 4 pounds.
Right.
Um, how do you feel in terms of being able to actually keep this going, and actually get to your weight loss goal and be able to actually keep
Oh,
it
one,
off?
100%.
Mm,
100%.
okay.
Just, I mean, just how I feel. I used to wake up and I'd have, you know, so much inflammation, and, you know, I used to want to eat popcorn before bed every night. And you know what?
Mm,
I don't get those cravings, which is
that's
great.
amazing. That's just
Yeah.
in
I
two
had,
weeks wow, that's
yeah, that's
awesome.
right. Yeah. Somebody had given me this little piece of cake yesterday because it was somebody's birthday.
uh,
And so I put it in the fridge and I gave it to my boyfriend. And you know what? It did not even bother me one little bit.
mm,
Not even a little bit.
that's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah. And I know, you know, at the end of the night, I can have my little protein, you know, brownie, which is very satisfying. And you know what?
Mm,
That's good. I feel good. My body feels good. I don't feel swollen anymore. I used to get
mm,
really bad swelling in my legs and my ankles. And yeah, that seems to have,
100%.
yeah, it's dissipated. And yeah, I just feel
That's
better and I
awesome.
feel so much more motivated. I've been out walking every night, and yeah, it's great.
That's awesome. That's so
Yeah.
amazing. Absolutely
Yeah.
love that.
And I just
And
think, oh, sorry.
no, go
If I
ahead.
just, you know, I just think that if I hadn't have found you guys, I don't know. I mean, I just feel like my weight just kept going up, right? No matter what I did or no matter what I
Mm.
tried. But then it's the yo-yo effect again, right? So it's just a vicious cycle. And so when I saw you on Chris's Facebook page,
Yes, yes, yes.
yes, yeah. So it was great. It was like it was meant to be. So for
That's so
sure.
cool.
Yeah,
I love that.
definitely. Timing
I
is everything.
It totally is
Yeah.
100%. That's
Yeah.
amazing. And I absolutely
Yeah.
love that, that it's something you feel is sustainable and something that you have the energy now, the inflammation's already gone. And it's only been 2 weeks, right? Because that's always
Right.
what I say is results are the best motivation. And that's the thing that I absolutely love about, most people like yourself is you see
Mhm.
those fast results. You step on the scale within the first week, and
Right.
the weight has already started to go down and you already feel smaller and tighter because all
Mhm.
the puffiness and inflammation has gone down because like you said it's not
Right.
just about counting the calories and is this fitting into my macros and all that kind of stuff. Yes, we
Right.
do incorporate that
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
making sure it's part of the system we use, but we also incorporate, okay, but what foods are we actually putting in, right?
Right.
And that all of it together to, like you said, balance your hormones, decrease the inflammation, all of that stuff. It's so amazing that you see that so fast, and it really does, right? It makes you be like, yeah, all right, like I feel good, let's keep going.
Yeah.
So that's super awesome. And one thing I did want to ask is, did you
Mhm.
have any objections, before getting started, and any hesitations? And if you did, what were they? Juicy question.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have, and it's not just about the money. I know you can't really put a price on health. But I just thought, you know what? I swore that I was never, ever again going to do another program because I thought, you know what? I have spent so much money,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that was a big hesitation. I thought, am I really going to do this again? Am I really going to put out money to do
All
this
over again.
again, right? For something, but I just, you know what? I just had faith in you. I really did, just like speaking with Omar and watching your videos and yeah. And after that, I was just sold. I thought, you know what? This is it. This is the last program I'm ever going to do.
So
Yeah,
good.
absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, I love it.
So good. I'm
Yeah.
so happy you say that. Yeah, because that's really our mission, is to be that last system, that last program.
Right.
Because just like you said, you've been on so many other ones, and I love that. I love that,
Yeah.
just being super real and honest. Be like, am I actually going to do this again? And it's
Hmm.
like we always joke around that we're kind of like, that lawyer that people go to.
Yeah, that's
That
right.
lawyer that people go to when, like, you've tried to go every other lawyer and they haven't gotten
Right.
you off yet, and you're just like, okay, you need to
Oh,
call my
not
friend
another.
Bob.
Yeah, not another one. Yeah.
Yeah, like my friend Bob will get you out of this one.
Yes, for
It's like that's
sure.
how we are, but for nutrition
Yeah,
weight
that's
loss.
right. Yeah, for sure.
Um,
Yeah.
so that's amazing. We're super excited for you, and we're really glad we got to connect. And I just
Yeah,
one last
absolutely.
question is,
Hmm.
what do you feel was the moment where, once you were like, okay, I see the value, I see this is something I need to do, I finally decided, like, yes, I'm doing this. What
Hmm.
was the moment where you really saw results and where you were like, okay, I 100% made the right decision in investing in this?
Well, I actually tried the keto diet as well. And,
Okay.
it was funny because I wasn't losing.
Yeah.
All these people, I joined a keto community on Facebook and all these people were posting, oh, yay, I lost 10 pounds in 2 weeks. And I was like, well, why isn't my scale budging? Like, what's wrong with
Mm,
me? Right. And so, I mean, it's been a long time since I've actually lost, even a couple pounds. So when I first stepped on the scale, and I've never been one to really base everything on the scale,
yes.
right? Um, Typically I like to go by how my clothes feel,
Mm,
inches, and just how my body feels, right?
yes.
It's not just about the number on the scale, but seeing that the numbers budge, right? And thinking,
Hmm.
okay, well, I am on my way below 200 pounds now.
Mm.
Like, this is finally it. And I thought, you
Um,
know what? I have to keep going on this. And I look forward to it. I work in the morning for a couple hours and I come home and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna have the detox drink and my
aw.
greens. And I do. It's just, it's such an amazing feeling. I love it. And I
Um,
love, and I love that it's not, well, when I spoke with Omar and he said, what would sort of deter you, whatever. And I said, well, as long as it's not vegan, like that would be sort of right.
too
It's
much,
just,
too
yeah,
far.
that's right. It's just not me.
Yeah.
But all the food, and I'm not typically a picky eater. There's just a couple things that I don't like, but this is normally how I eat.
Mm.
Um, but then maybe I overeat or maybe I undereat, right? And so
Mhm.
this just sort of, you give the numbers and the macros and, I've done a million macro calculators
Yeah.
or macronutrient calculators, and every number is different,
Yep.
right? So then I'm like, well, I don't know. So then
Uh-huh.
my girlfriend and I'll talk on the phone and, it's like, okay, well, I did this macro calculator and this says I should have this much fat and this much protein and this one says, right? So it's confusing. And I don't want to just I want something that is going to work. I
Yes.
don't want to just keep, okay, well, this week I'm going to try this. Well, this didn't work. Well, this week I'm going to try this. Well, that didn't work, right?
Mm.
I just want to get on it. It's almost summertime. I need to lose the sweater. So, right? Right?
Yes.
It's almost like I love summer, don't get me wrong, but it's always that thing. I have tons of clothes in my closet.
Mm.
I mean, I have a pair of jeans up there that are, size 28 waist that I
Mm.
used to wear, right? Not that I need to get into those again, particularly, right?
Yeah.
But it's just, I mean, it's a good motivator for sure, right? But I know how I used to feel in summer dresses, and now there's absolutely no way. I won't wear shorts. I don't like wearing, tank tops anymore. But I
Mm.
know that there was a point where I did feel super comfortable in that stuff.
Mm.
And I felt good and I had confidence. And now I don't have any.
Mm.
So,
I
but we're on our
totally.
way. We're on our way.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, 100%. And that's, I mean, thank you so much for sharing that. That's super
Mhm.
deep. And I feel like that's just being able to be raw and vulnerable, right?
That's
Is
right.
something
Yeah.
that's so nice and
Yeah.
it's
That's right.
liberating, right? And
That's right.
I think that's such an amazing thing, right? That you've decided to say
Mhm.
yes. And I'm super excited that you've already seen,
Mm,
right, some results so quickly and that was, you finally saw that scale move. And just like you said, it's so normal that so many people have tried so many different approaches and you do this macro calculator, you do that, and it's always different. And it
right.
really does just come down to where you're at, right? Hormonally,
Mhm.
where you're at with your gut health, where you're at with inflammation levels. Like there's so many different factors that have to do
Mhm.
with, okay, now we're going to start you on this, but then we're going to tweak that. And even though you might already be eating healthy, it doesn't mean that you're actually losing weight because of all of these moving pieces. And it's almost like
Right.
these gears kind of that go together. So if
Mhm.
you don't have the right, macros for your body type, if you don't have the right calories, if you don't have the right kinds of foods, if you don't have the right proportions, it's like all
Right.
of these gears that, if they're not working properly,
Yeah.
then all you need is to have one that's off for the whole system to
Well,
go
that's
downhill,
right. Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah. And that's why, I
Yes.
said it's better to do something, right and properly the first time rather than, and I've learned a lot about food and, with different programs and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
I generally know what's really not good for you, but some people, like my boyfriend is one of them. He'll say, "Oh yeah, well, I bought these healthy chips." And I said, "Those aren't healthy." He says, "Well, I bought
It's
them
like
at
an
the superstore."
oxymoron.
Yeah, he says, "I bought them in the in the health section of Superstore." So, I flipped to the back and I said, "Okay, well, there's soybean oil, there's,
Yeah.
all this stuff in there." And he says,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, whatever, they're healthy." But I know for me, right? I
Hmm.
just know it's not really healthy stuff. So,
100%.
yeah.
That's amazing. And
Yeah.
that's so good. I absolutely love that. And it truly does come down to what's right for your body. Not every approach is going to be right. You can't go online and just do a macro calculator and have it actually work. Maybe it does sometimes, but it's not actually
Mhm.
going to give you those long-term results. And then you add, hormonal changes and shifts in there, which so many, different women have at different
Right.
stages, like you said, menopause, premenopause, not in menopause yet, whatever it might be. There's so
Mhm.
many factors to it. So I think it's so great that you're seeing that and you're seeing that, like, okay, so it is about seeing what portions and what things that I should be eating for my specific body because everyone's different, but also what kind of food is fitting in that. So
Right.
that's so amazing. And I
Mhm.
absolutely love it. I'm super
Mhm.
excited, and I'm honestly really excited to see where you're at in the next even 12 weeks and then, beyond, and to help
Absolutely.
celebrate all of those
Yes, for
wins because I know they're
sure.
coming up.
That's right.
um
Yeah.
that's super awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I know that you're super busy, so
That's okay.
we're gonna definitely wrap it up. But I'm really excited that we got to chat today. And
Absolutely. Me too.
yeah, just
Thank
one last
you.
question. Yeah,
Yeah.
one last question. I mean, for anyone who's watching this, right? Because sometimes there's a lot of amazing women that are watching these and men, right? We have
Mhm.
worked
Mhm.
with some men.
Right.
But would you recommend, if someone was watching this and was really just struggling, had been on so many other programs, don't
Mhm.
know what to do, or at that same place that you're at where you were like, okay, I have no idea what to do anymore.
Mhm.
Is this something that you would recommend to those people?
Without hesitation.
Mm, amazing.
Absolutely, 100%. I love this family. I love the community. I love the videos that you put out. They're all
Mm.
so informative and it's just great. I can't say enough good things about you guys.
Aw, thank you
Yeah,
so
it's
much. We
great.
love you.
Yes, I love you too.
We love
Yeah.
you. Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, for anyone who's watching, guys, if you are interested at all in knowing, how Sue has done this and how she's starting to make all of these shifts in her life, and if you just want some info or even to be able to get, a free consult, because we always like to be able to help support in whatever way that we can, just comment Purify below. And we'll give you some details and be able to see if it's a right fit, right? Because we don't work with everybody, and we do have that application process because we want to make sure that we have the right people and that you're at the right place for us to really get some amazing results. So absolutely love you. And
Okay,
thank
thank
you
you. I love
so
you
much,
guys too.
Sue. And have an
Okay,
amazing day, guys.
thanks. You as well. Okay,
Bye.
bye.